Go ahead.
Hi. I don't agree with you politically.
That is allowed.
Right.
That is the beauty of this country.
But we have
And can I just say, we got a long line. I'm going to leave pretty soon. If there's anybody who like literally has a disagree question, just like make sure they get to come to the front. So we'll do that. You know, just be polite to your friends and bring the disagrees to closer to the front, because I think we have time for maybe about 5 or 6 more.
But we have to work together. So how do you approach working with people and parties that disagree with you?
So I'd say first is like the partisan boundaries. They don't actually mean a ton right now, actually. I know that's like not the thing you're supposed to say right before the election or whatever. But when you think about the consensus around interventionism in Iraq, or the position of what we were or weren't supposed to do in exiting Afghanistan, a lot of foreign policy, full stop. There are deep divides within the Republican Party, and there's deep divides within the Democratic Party. You take a look at even attitudes towards capitalism. There's deep divides in both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So the first thing is, I would say, just labels and identities are confining. And so just take that off and ask yourself what your actual beliefs are. And what we probably will end up discovering is that you might agree with me more of the time than you expect. And the areas where you disagree, you're going to emerge with a greater conviction of why. How do we work together? This is also the subject of the premise for my book. Was my favorite moments from the campaign weren't when I was dunking on the left. I did my fair share of that. You know, we had a little bit of a face-off with Don Lemon, and he became no more on cable news after that. But you know, and there's a need for that, right? Because he required and demanded the response that I gave him. You got to be strong enough, as I say, to protect your kindness. But those weren't my favorite moments, actually. My favorite moments were actually moments, you know, maybe like these on campuses, where we're interfacing with somebody who deeply disagrees with my views on what climate change policy should be, or my views on how to handle transgenderism in children, or what that policy ought to look like. And the beauty of America is we're the country where we can disagree like hell and still get together at the dinner table at the end of it. That doesn't mean some sort of like fake centrism. I hate this word centrism, because it presumes that there's something called the left and something called the right, and you get together at the 50-yard line and sing Kumbaya. I don't think that that's satisfactory. First of all, I just don't think it's two poles. What happens to the people on the other side of the 30-yard line on each side? You just kind of forget about them in the name of fake unity. I reject this siren song of centrism, but I think true unity embraces vehement, profound disagreement, but still regards your fellow citizen as somebody who you give the benefit of the doubt to say that we still share an interest in making sure our country's stronger. I'm going to at least, in general, give you the benefit of that doubt. And then the fact that we could still disagree is part of what we actually are united by, is the fact that we're able to live in a country where for so many others in the history of this earth, we couldn't have had that exchange. That's, I think, what makes America great, and I think that's how we're going to be able to unite the country through those deep divisions as well. So I appreciate that, Matt.